Hi, my name is Keith Cooper from Northlight Images. In this video I'm going to have a look at this, the Canon PRO-1100, newish printer from Canon, about maintenance and cleaning issues, about keeping your printer healthy. Now this printer belongs to Canon, so it will be going back to them. But what would I do if I had a printer like this in my office? What would I do in the way of regular maintenance? How would I sort of keep it? What would I do to avoid excessive ink use in cleaning? All these matters, people are concerned about it because even though there are quite large ink tanks in this, there are 80 millilitres and there are 12 of them, if you include the colour optimizer as an ink, there are lots of that, there's plenty of ink in it, but it potentially uses quite a lot. Now, right up front, I'll say if you've got one of these, don't switch it off, and ideally don't unplug it. I say that for two reasons. One, unplugging it seems to reset timers and things in it, and it can sometimes, and I tested this as to how much ink it can use, you can use 5% of your ink up in a cleaning if it's been switched off and unplugged for a length of time. You really don't want to do that. If you're in an area with unreliable power supplies, where you get frequent power cuts and the like, consider for a printer like this getting a UPS, uninterruptible power supply that will automatically kick in and keep it going. Now, if you're in an area where you need to worry about generators and things like that, then a printer like this is going to be an expensive one to run because you're going to be using up ink for stuff, and it goes into the maintenance cartridge at the back. There are normal cleanings, and I will have a look at the cleanings here on the menu here. There's a whole load of them, of different cleaning options. Would you ever use any of them? Should you use any of them? What does it actually do? But anyway, the menu here. Now, when you open this up, it obviously stops doing anything. If you look in the Canon's manual, it says if you're doing any cleaning in here to switch it off and unplug it at the wall. Now I'm going to assume that that's for health and safety reasons. In the idea of sticking your hand inside a powered on printer, there's potentially who knows what could happen, and it's safer to tell people to switch stuff off. Remember what I said about not switching the printer off. So if you're going to clean it and just do a little bit of cleaning inside, unplugging it and then whoosh, a load of ink gets used up. Really don't want to do that. Now I'm not saying it will always use up lots. Like many printers, the more you use it, the less proportionally ink is used up in cleaning. If you use it very rarely, do a few prints a month or something like that, every month or every couple of months, expect to maybe use as much as 50% of your ink up in cleanings. It just happens to work that way. Now, that's something you need to consider. That's why I always say these printers, set a diary reminder and do something like a basic nozzle check print. Now that's the simplest one here. To see this menu, I have to sort of close this again and it'll have a think about stuff. Yes, it's shut, there we go. And it's on the maintenance menu. The nozzle check is a useful thing to do to exercise the printer. It exercises all the print colours and everything like that, so it counts as a print. There is no need to do a full print of something. Although if you're automating a process, you may want to do just a small image with on plain paper, something just to print automatically every week or two. What would I do if I had one here? I'd set a diary reminder for perhaps 2 weeks or something like that. And then you do a print on plain paper. Of course, if you use the printer, if you've got it in your office and you happen to print a document every so often, that counts as a print. Because as I'll show when I look inside here, even a document print uses a little bit of all the inks. And that leaves a mark, literally, figuratively, inside the printer here. But anyway, the items here. Nozzle check, simple one. If the nozzle check fails, you want to do a basic cleaning. Now the key with any inkjet printer, and I've learnt this over the years, having had lots of inkjet printers and tested lots of them, is patience. If you do a cleaning, if you do a nozzle check and there's an issue with it, a few lines broken or something like that, if you get that and you do a clean, and then the next nozzle check is still faulty, resist the temptation to do an immediate, another cleaning. Give the printer 5–10 minutes before doing perhaps another nozzle check and checking to see what it is. Remember, the basic nozzle check uses some ink, not that much, but uses a little bit, fires all the nozzles, checks things, does a bit of a clean in here, and that takes care of that. Yeah, the print head, which normally lives over this side, come do its stuff, print a few bits, there's your picture. Now, the next bit down, and this is where to be used with care. The next one, deep cleaning. Basically, that's more of the same, but more thorough. That's fair enough. I would, if I failed 2 nozzle checks and 2 cleans, would I go to a deep cleaning? Absolutely not. I would rather leave the printer overnight and check the next day before I went anywhere near something that said deep cleaning. Not unless I had shares in Canon and a very, very generous ink discount on it. The deep cleaning, you should not normally ever need to do that if your printer is clean and it works. There we go, just press OK there again. It just times out after a while. If you leave it on normal, turn off the auto manager, the power management, so it doesn't turn itself off, it will just go to sleep. It uses a tiny bit of power, but very little, just to keep it in. But as I said, don't unplug it, no matter what you're doing. Deep cleaning, okay, so that's that. The next one is that there is, and if you look in the manual, you'll see descriptions of all these. There is a system cleaning. Now, the system cleaning is right at the bottom of the list. This one here uses even more ink than the deep cleaning. I would say that's if you're doing that, you're talking desperation. If you're getting to the point of doing a system cleaning and it makes no difference, think there may be a print head problem. Now, fortunately, with these printers, the print heads are replaceable, so you can replace it. It's going to take you ink to use it up, but by the time you've done a cleaning, a deep cleaning, and then gone on to a system cleaning, you will already have a nice pile of ink, empty ink carts and things for it. When these go wrong, they can use up ink, and that goes for any inkjet printer, but certainly the larger ones, they could use up masses of ink, which you don't want to do really. So just treat this carefully, but patience is the key for it. It really is a matter of, if it doesn't, these things can clear themselves. Sometimes it's microscopic bubbles that just build it in the print head, they settle out, boom, it's clean, it works. I've had this with printers where I've done nothing but a normal cleaning every day for 3 or 4 days, just once, and then at the end of that, switched it on and I got a perfect nozzle check. So there you go. By the way, most of these things go for Epsons as well. The Epsons don't have replaceable print heads. Now, some people say that is a major failing. Others say it really doesn't matter because they last longer anyway. Now, I'm mostly in the it doesn't matter that much. I don't see replaceable print heads as necessarily that much of a killer difference between them. It's certainly not something I would ever use for choosing between 2 printers. I would choose on that. So I did, for example, the other day, I did a video comparing the 3 current sort of 17-inch desktop printers, 2 Epson, 1 and this Canon. Looking, my choice between them would be the other functionality of the printer, the size, things like that. It would not be whether it had a used replaceable print head or not. That would not. But that's just for me. As I say, I've got a video with that. I put a note in the links for it if you're curious of it. But anyway, we go all the way down this lot, and there we go. We've got the system clean and it's working. What other bits of cleaning are there? Well, there is internal cleaning. Now, there are rollers at the back that draw paper in. They have a rubber surface on them. They can get mucky, they can get paper dust on them, depends on the paper you use. they can get paper dust on it and they may not pick the print up. It's mentioned in the manual about doing a cleaning with some swabs just on those little rollers at the back. There is internal areas here where ink can build up, and you can do something called bottom plate cleaning, which you need a sheet of A3 paper. You fold it in half so it's got a crease in it, you feed it through, and basically it picks up any extraneous ink that's down here. Now, those are the standard system things for doing for that. Now, a quick reminder again, the manual says unplug it, don't. You're not going to be using damp cloths and things like that inside here, so the electricity should not be an issue. Inside here there is a platen area where the head goes over and it prints on the paper. Now there's a vacuum system as well. It's very good on this. This is why the sheet paper handling in this printer and the previous Pro-1000 is very good. It has a vacuum system that holds the paper flat as it goes through, keeps it down like that, and helps prevent problems with paper with lifting at the corners and getting curl. Now, don't put paper with curled corners into this with the vacuum, or any printer really, because you're asking for a problem for the print head to where the paper sticks up for the print head to touch on it, and that will cause problems with it. But that's good paper management. I've only ever really noticed problems with that when I've been tried doing paper cut from rolls, and I did look at doing roll printing on this. You can print, I did a 10-foot long print on this, so it's no problem in doing it. It's just awkward is the main thing. If you want a roll printer, get a roll printer. So in here, we've got the pad down the bottom here, and in just looking at it, I can see that there are marks on it. And this is a relatively new printer, so we can see where ink has been sprayed on here, and it's gone onto that foam pad. Now that gets drained through and that collects. Now I imagine you would have to use this for quite some time. Some of the ink, the overspray ink, and certainly the cleaning ink, goes into the maintenance cartridge at the back. But this pad down the bottom here can definitely build up ink. And in looking at it, I've used this kitchen roll, kitchen tape paper, and I've used this and I've just dabbed it onto the here, and there is quite a bit of ink collected on it. Where's that ink from? Well, one of the reasons is borderless printing. Borderless printing, the ink has to be sprayed past the edge of the paper to get the borderless effect. So if you're going to do much borderless printing, keep your printer clean. Now that involves, watching out for dust and stuff as well. Although the vacuum system does keep things clean, because remember it's drawing air through. You can hear the fans. That's why this is not a quiet print. It's not particularly noisy, but it is not the quietest of printers because it's got the vacuum system. Any big printer with a vacuum system, same with the P5000 that I have upstairs, it's quite noisy when it's running because of the vacuum system. But the benefit of the vacuum system, as I've said, is it means paper handling, sheet paper handling is very good. Still, in terms of sheet paper feeding, general handling, this is probably still the best desktop machine for paper handling for sheets like this. Of course, bigger printer like this, it doesn't print on little bits of paper nearly as well. If you want to print on little bits of paper, you probably find that a small printer is better. But in here, as I say, this is a piece of paper and you can see the ink on it, I hope. That it's gloopy, it's black, it's a collection of all sorts of ink. Where does that come from? Yeah, borderless. But on Canon printers, and you can see this, if you say A3 paper and you go to one of the pre-made patterns on this, you can print these printers. I use them whenever I've got a Canon one here to print out music paper, for example, because you can just put A4 sheets in it and it'll print the staves, so you can do it if you're just writing some music and just want some notation. It's great. It does graph paper and all sorts of things as well. Bit excessive to use to print graph paper when I could just, there's a stationer's shop just down the road and I can buy the stuff. But anyway, if I need some in a hurry, some graph paper, I can run it in here. Normally I'd print that on an A4 sheet. Now let's say I've set the paper size to A4, but I've put a sheet of plain A3 paper in it. What you will see is the pattern, and then you'll see a line printed down the side. Now that is because the print head, every time it comes across, it exercises a few of the print head nozzles. The print head nozzles need exercising. You don't want to not use them for a length of time. So it just fires the odd droplet of ink every time it goes across. Now, the odd droplet of ink is not much, but over a period of time, it will build up ink on the foam here. Clean that, keep that clean. So that's one of the sort of things that I do with printers. You know, it depends how much I've been using them, but certainly every month or two I will check, and that's relatively light use. I will just get some of this kitchen roll and just check that everything is all right. One other little bit I mentioned, there's a thin strip of plastic film that runs across here at the back, and that is a vital component of the printer. What it is a position encoding strip. As the print head zooms across, the printer itself, its onboard computer that controls everything, needs to know extremely precisely where the print head is, so it can coordinate the firing of the ink droplets onto the paper. That encoder strip is absolutely vital. Mess that up, get that dirty, or do anything like that, and you will get problems with the printer. So always take care when you're with the paper and stuff and dabbing it on here. Just watch out for that little thin plastic strip that runs across the top and leave it well alone. Because as I say, if you get muck on that, then it will cause problems, and the printer will have, because basically it'll lose track of where the print head is at some point going across, and it will throw up an error. Being Canon, it will throw you up a numeric error number, which means absolutely nothing unless you actually delve into the right manual and find out what the meaning of the code is. Usability point Canon. Error messages should actually mean something. But anyway, I digress. That's how I would keep this clean. So, not too many cleanings. If I do have problems, patience. And then every month or so, just check the inside that everything is nice and clean. Check that there's not paper dust building up in it somewhere. Now, I did suggest in another video, and I've done this for a few printers, I suggested using a small leaf blower to make sure there's no dust sitting inside. And somebody went, oh no, that'll just blow dust into other parts of the printer. Yeah, it might, but it was fun cleaning it, and it's a great way. A leaf blower is perhaps a bit excessive, so certainly an air blower, just to make sure you're not building up sort of deposits of stuff. And keep an eye, if you do much borderless printing, keep an eye on ink buildup, because the spray droplets can just drift about and can end up in the wrong place. But just be careful of that little plastic encoder strip that runs across the back. Just ignore that. Anyway, that is how I would look after a printer like this. In terms of print quality, it is excellent. But then so was the PRO-1100 was an excellent printer. So I have no complaints whatsoever about print quality about these printers. They're a nice printer. But get things wrong, and you better have plenty of spare ink carts sitting about. Just remember that when you're using one, and don't unplug it. I hope that was of interest. If you've got any questions, please do let me know. I've got this here for a while until I finish the main written review of this, which will be along in a few weeks, and we'll see what's, and I'll do a video to go with that as well, obviously, for people who don't like reading all my long written reviews. But remember, the written stuff is always where the detail goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and bye.